Westbrook. He's got a huge contract. Shannon, what's the most likely way for the Lakers to get rid of Russ?
Well, it's going to take a third team to get involved because nobody wants Russell Westbrook straight up. Even with the draft picks, it's going to take someone that's looking for a rebuild, Skip, get Russ, buy him out, he moves on somewhere else because they're not going to want him around in their organization. That is my belief. The Lakers want Kyrie. I believe Kyrie still deep down want the Lakers. But it can't happen as long as Russ is on the team. So it's going to take someone else getting involved with this. The Spurs might be interested. But at the end of the day, Skip, it's a bad look. And that's a very humiliating knock to your ego and your legacy. You get bought out, $47 million. And the team said, nah, bro, you can't help us. We don't want you to help us. We want you to go on about your way. But here's a nice parting gift. I don't know how you get any lower than that, because I'm a firm believer, Skip, the greater the athlete, the greater the ego. And so that is a huge knock to one's ego. And I know to the lay person at home that's watching, oh, fire me for 40. Nah. But when you dealing with egos, and I'm telling you, you have to be around certain people, and you've been around them enough, Skip, to know the least thing said or the least slight in any way is very upsetting to the greatest of the greats. And so, not saying that Russ is a LeBron James or KD or Jordan, but still, that's a huge knock. You get bought out like that, Skip. So you mean to tell me, look, man, your team didn't even make the playoffs last year. What you mean you don't need me? What you mean you don't want me? What you mean you don't want me around? You mean to tell me I can't help? Nah, we don't want you to help. The best way for you to help us is to take this check and go on about your merry way. And so, Skip, that's the only way that I see it happening. The Lakers should throw in a first-round pick to move Russ. If AD can remain healthy, that remains to be seen. But I'm going to say I believe he can play 65, 70 games. LeBron can give you 65, 70. With Kyrie, they are a contender. If they give you those same amount of games with Russell Westbrook, the Lakers are not a contending team.
Okay. I'm going to restate my position here. I would love to see Kyrie join LeBron in L.A. It would be great for the Lakers. It would be great for the NBA. It would be great for Undisputed. It's just good all around. I'm not sure it would be great for the team on the floor, but they'd be way better than they're about to be if you're stuck with Russ and LeBron trying to figure it back out and coexist on the basketball court. Kyrie, LeBron would look forward. They're anxious to reunite and play together. And I think they play very well off each other because they have such high regard for each other's games. Russ has no regard for anybody's game except Russ's. He doesn't respect. He is the world. He is the show. He can't see past the end of his nose because he is obsessed with triple-double stats.
Yes.
And if he doesn't get one, he's going to pout.
Right.
So my problem is, I just need you to realistically explain how this is going to work out, because I can't make it work. I try hard to find a pathway, a three-team path that lands Kyrie with LeBron in Los Angeles, because just help me out. Just show me one. Give me one. Show me a team where they're going to say yes to Russ, and then what's going to happen?
They're going to buy him out.
Okay? He has to accept the buyout.
Right.
And
nobody's going to unless he has a representative or they speak directly to Russ to let him know their plans. This is our plans. We're going to trade for you. We're only willing to trade if you're willing to accept the buyout.
Okay. It's why when Russ opted in a couple of weeks back at the deadline, I said it's the biggest duh in the history of opt-ins, because he's going to opt out. Well, he can't. Nobody wants him.
Right.
So he could have become a free agent, right? Good luck with that. You got $47 million sitting on the table with the team you grew up living and dying for in L.A. Take it. So he opted in for $47 million, right?
Where else was he going to get $47 million?
That's what I'm saying.
He'd be lucky to get $47.
Okay, but he's still thinking, I'm Russell Westbrook. Don't you remember? I'm Russell Westbrook. No.
The NBA doesn't.
That's why he and his agent are no longer together, because his agent is telling him, hey, this is a no-brainer, man.
Correct.
You got a new coach who's trying to put his arm around you. He's publicly supporting you.
Right.
He's taken you to dinner maybe a couple of times.
Yeah.
you're going to be his starting point guard. And it's right back to business. And maybe if your team's healthy, you're going to have a much better year. You got to stick it out in L.A. Well, Russ is saying, no, I'm a valuable commodity. I want to hit the market. I want to be traded somewhere else. Well, it'd be your fourth trade in 4 years. So the market's starting to tell you, well, you got a problem, man.
Well, sometimes,
Right?
Skip, sometimes value is only with you. You believe you have something of value and nobody else does. So how valuable is it?
Okay.
Are you going to pay yourself $47 million?
If right now we could have Russ right here and put him on a lie detector, he would say that some contender would go out of its way to acquire him right now.
And he'd be out of his mind.
Okay, but again, you want to talk about delusion?
Yes.
He is it.
Yes.
He is the epitome of delusion right now. So now that's what you're dealing with. So clearly, he doesn't have a representative, but they're going to line up for him. I can tell you that.
There ain't going to be nobody, Skip. What you mean line up?
Line up to represent.
It ain't no more max contracts.
Okay.
You're going to be getting minimum. I grade it, but
Young
minimum.
agents, they'll line up for
Of
this.
course.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, Skip, Russ is not getting another max contract.
No.
Those 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, and now you see where they're going. They're going to be 60. Dame got a contract that's going to pay him $61, $62 million for a year, for 2 years. He's not going to get one of those. But you're right. Somebody will line up, hey, if I'm getting 5% of $6 million, that's still a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know if they can get that much, but
They might get what's minimum? What's 5 million mid-level exception, 6.3 million, something like that?
But I don't know if you can get 5% of that, but whatever.
Hey,
if you're trying to win his services,
What?
Yeah.
I mean, you do realize, Russ, I'm going to have to work magic to get you on a team somewhere.
Okay, because Russ is going to make it clear to whatever team acquires him, there is no way I'm going to accept a buyout.
Well, he's going to be on the Lakers then.
You're going to be on the hook for $47 million. And I still say that Jeannie Buss, the proud woman that she is going to say, God, I just can't stomach giving away my future for LeBron's near present.
Right.
It's a shelf life presence of what? Is he going to be here 2 more years or 3 more? I don't know, but we're talking about draft picks and what'd you say, 27 and 29? Well, somebody like Spurs, Utah, and Utah only works if Donovan Mitchell is gone and they kind of go back to square one.
Right.
That they say we're in a rebuild.
Right.
So they have to give up next year. It feels like the Spurs, I hate to use rebuild, but they're obviously, they gave up DeJounte Murray.
But they did play Keldon Johnson. They just gave him.
They paid him.
That's a clutch.
That surprised me a little bit, and he was a clutch guy. I agree. But are they going to be any good next year? I don't think so.
No.
Would they actually play Russell Westbrook?
No. They're going to buy him out.
Distract their fandom?
Skip, I believe every team would buy him out. If Utah traded for him, they buy him out. Spurs buy him out.
But they want Jeannie's future.
Yes, yes.
Because they're all stockpiling. I think Oklahoma City would be interested here, and that would be the only place because Sam Presti still loves him because he made Sam Presti's reputation.
But Skip, you want him around Giddey. You want him around Shai Gilgeous. You want him around Chet Holmgren. You want him around Lou Dort. Thus, Skip, that is a very, very young team. Do you want somebody that's...
Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City, and he had the ability. He was a free agent, but he left by his own volition because he thought Sam Presti favored Russell Westbrook over him. Well, does Sam still favor Russell Westbrook enough to say, I want him teaching my young players how to do it?
Teaching them what?
I don't know, because we saw nothing but nightmare last year.
No.
We saw daily Westbrook blooper reels that we put clown music underneath. That's how bad it got. It was a horror show. I've never seen anything like it before. I've never seen hands any worse. I've never seen any worse three-point shooting. Westbrooking from the free throw line. I've just never seen anything like it. The turnovers.
Skip, I just don't know if Jeannie has much of a choice given you've invested so much and already. You gave up a lot to get Anthony Davis, young quality players, first-round picks, pick swaps. You have LeBron James. LeBron James, year 20. I think he probably has, in this spot, year, 2 years, maybe he can push it out to 3 years.